Okay, I'm fuming right now. I need to respond to this because I don't know if you've ever seen this man. I've never seen him, but he tagged me in a video and he is just actually coming at me. And I want to rebuttal. This man is going through my TikToks and he's like, oh, well, you know what? She does have a lot of Love Island content. Latest post is her talking about how she wants to go book a trip and go to festivals or go abroad to take a vacation. And honestly, that's like just not a very desirable trait for a woman, you know, that looks like she's just like a party animal and blah, blah, blah. Okay, listen here, dude. First of all, I am 30. I am single. Do you want to know how hard it is to live life as a single fucking woman in today's economy? Yeah, I work 3 different jobs. I have 3 fucking sources of income and I am crushing debt. Trust me, it's going down and down. My credit is actually at very good right now, okay? But I'm saying I work hard as fuck and I'm not just gonna sit here living this stupid fucking life and not enjoying myself too, okay? Who gives a fuck about a man? I'm not actually trying to decenter myself from being so male-centered. I am trying to learn. I have self-awareness. I can call a spade and say, okay, you are being crazy right now. But for you to sit there and say that a single woman who talks about wanting to book a trip, talks about wanting to go to a festival or two, talks about having credit card debt because I'm the only person who's fucking honest around here. We all have fucking credit card debt or student loans. And if you don't, congratulations, you were able to beat the system. I chose to move across the country and have a different life for myself because it was necessary. And you know what? Sorry, I did rack up the debt a few years ago. Am I getting better at it? Absolutely. But I think it's so unfair for people on TikTok to look at my TikToks and say like, oh, I'm judging her. She's a party girl and she does this and she has no responsibility for anything. Okay, you tell me why I'm living on my own in a nice new apartment by myself with 2 dogs. I take care of everyone around me. I'm a nice person and I just don't want to be with someone who brings me down. And while I'm living this life, I want to go enjoy myself. While I'm working hard as fuck, I want to go enjoy myself. I don't think that's a sin. I don't think that that is a con for someone who like looks at my page and thinks that, oh, that's not a desirable person, not a desirable woman. I think that I have standards. I hold myself accountable. I'm independent enough. I can take care of myself with or without you. I would love to be in a relationship, a loving relationship where we can take care of each other. I would love to fall into the feminine more. Honestly, I'm fucking sick of it. I don't think that there's enough people being fucking honest about how hard it is to live this life, still try to enjoy yourself, work hard, tackle the fucking financial issues that are just thrown at us as millennials left and right, and to sit here and be judged by a dude on TikTok. Get the fuck out of here, okay? I'm judged every single day by dudes on TikTok, but your take of me like looking at my Love Island recaps and me saying that like, fuck it, I want to book a trip, even though I have credit card debt. You looking at that as less desirable, like, okay. Imagine a creator on TikTok with 500,000 followers psychoanalyzes the last 4 to 5 TikToks you've posted of Love Island content and you being sarcastic and then decides that he knows why I am single. Okay, here's the thing. I really don't want to give this any more time of the day, but like this guy has actually sent haters and bullies my way. And I think that's a big fucking problem because you use your channel to psychoanalyze women and whoever else and throw your opinions on it. Why don't you have a fucking thought of your own and see if that goes viral instead of using everyone else's face? Because my TikTok that you made with my face in it is like the highest views that you've had in a few days, maybe weeks. I don't know. I haven't really looked through your TikToks because I can give a fuck less. That's just insane. Okay, so on TikTok, we are now bullying, sending bullies our way. And I've had to block a lot of fucking people from my account, all because I am just trying to be an honest single woman and talk about my struggles dating. That's fucking crazy. And then also, God forbid, I do a Love Island recap because I've loved the show since 2020. God forbid. That makes me forever 21. Okay. If you're still stalking my fucking page, I hope you feel good about yourself. And I'll never fucking forget you and the bullying that you've caused me. This will never be forgotten. And I don't know if that's going to be good or bad for you.
I think these videos speak for themselves, but before I close this case study, I have one more thing to say. I do not and never will condone bullying. If anyone coming from my platform engages in that behavior, I don't claim them. But also, disagreeing with behaviors and sharing opinions online is not inherently bullying. Do you think it would be bullying to make videos calling out creators like Fresh and Fit? If not, let's not be so disingenuous. She said that I'm psychoanalyzing her. Maybe that's true. But when you put ideas online, people are going to reflect them back at you. That's not an attack, it's feedback. And the reaction to feedback often reveals more than the feedback itself. And let's be real, isn't Love Island commentary also a form of psychoanalyzing strangers? Isn't that what most online takes are anyways? Giving opinions on public behavior. And when people come online sharing their experiences and asking things like, why is dating so hard? Or why can't I find a good man over 30 like Jordan does? I don't think it's fair to get overly upset when someone tries to answer, even if that answer makes us uncomfortable. I did notice that her response really fixated on the financial aspect. Maybe I struck a nerve there. The truth is, most people are drowning in debt. And I think the average person has to live their lives acutely cognizant of that. It's so easy to get swept up in comparison and FOMO on social media, and that is a dangerous cycle. And I think the wiggle room gets tighter in our 30s and 40s, especially if we are seeking a financially stable relationship. We have to start thinking a little further out than our next date or our next vacation, which can be really hard to do when mundane, average living starts to feel like a prison, like it does. We're living in a time where people want to be praised publicly but never challenged. I've felt that before myself, to be honest with you. It can be tough to navigate hate and disagreement when we share ourselves on the internet. We want influence without introspection, but influence without reflection just leads to ego growth, not actual growth. Jordan, I truly appreciate that you take the time to respond to me. I think that this conversation is valuable beyond just the two of us, ergo, I'm going to make it a public video. I have to say, not enough people do the work. So when you say you've done therapy and you've reflected, I deeply respect that. But let me ask you this gently. If a 35-year-old man was online ranting and venting about having effing standards and not wanting to date these effing women today who are effing whores and effing entitled and effing in debt and effing unhealed, what the F? But then turn around and say, I'm a good guy. I just want a relationship with a woman who values me for me. Would you say that that man's energy is healed? Would you say, now there's a man I want to build a future with? Or would you see the red flags waving? Because like it or not, that is the mirror. That is what your content is giving off, at least in my very limited observation. And listen, I get sarcasm, I get venting, but the energy behind our words still matters. Sarcasm doesn't erase intention, it just masks it. You said you're working hard, paying off debt, have multiple incomes. That's admirable. But when the content we post centers on TV smut, party culture, glamorizing impulsive decisions like racking up more credit card debt to go to Ibiza or Burning Man, it doesn't communicate, I'm 30 and ready to be responsible for something real. Let me flip it again. If a 36-year-old man was saying the same about his finances, trying to keep up with the Joneses while still in debt, is that the type of man a woman should entertain seriously as a potential suitor? I also get that TikTok is a part of your income and that being relatable sells, but who are you relatable to? The 21-year-olds or the women still caught in toxic cycles? In my opinion, what you try to relate to, you end up reinforcing. Even content can become a source of identity. I think another question to ask is, what does your ideal man look like? What are his values? Is he grounded, successful, traditional? Is he the type of man you find at the bars on the weekends in his 30s and 40s? Knowing what you want is one thing, but becoming the kind of person that that person would recognize and choose, that is the real work. And no matter how much work that we do, it doesn't guarantee success. So this isn't about your worth. It's about what you're leading with, because the energy that you lead with is the energy that you attract. I'll admit, there is a shortage of good men who have done the work, but those men, they're not looking for vibes and validation. They're looking for depth and discernment and stability to invest in. I don't say this to tear you down or any other woman who relates to what I'm saying. I say it as someone who has been lost in his own patterns for many years before. And I've learned this. Our relationship cycles are rarely just about what we attract. They're often a reflection of what we tolerate, what we normalize, and what we project. The relationships that we align with they're like a reflection of our own capacity for depth.